different
Can I
things.
just tangent for a second? But for some reason, this is screaming in my head that, like, you talking about this is making me think of the Apache attack helicopter joke. And how part of the humor in that is the like impossibility of becoming the Apache attack helicopter versus like the potentiality of actually becoming like a trans person, right? But like a gender transition, a sexuality transition is a possible thing. Whereas like this whole like meme of like, oh well, I'm just gonna become an Apache attack helicopter is like that like other category that you're mentioning. I don't know why my brain is pulling
Well,
that, but
no, that's fair. That's fair. But here's the thing: can you actually become a woman? Is that even a thing that you can become?
what even is a woman? You can become trans. All I said was trans. I didn't say woman.
Yeah, but I mean, it's implied that if you're going to be transitioning
No,
as
you
a
could.
man, you're going to be something. No, I mean, okay,
I
maybe not. But what I'm trying to point out is our definition of like you can become a woman or not has the same structure in the sense of like, can we like physically, whatever, always for all time empirically verify that you're a woman or not, or is that a concept that's not testable or wait like it's a valid legitimate concept that we can talk about in a way that's different than imaginary concepts, like where to fit that, right? I mean, most people and conservatives and biological reductionists would basically say we already have a definition, it's just you're producing the large gamete or
yeah.
whatever, so therefore you're not a woman. Actually, I wrote a pretty good, I think, argument against this on Twitter, that it has to do with like, okay, this whole idea of defining sex by what types of gametes you produce is obviously a big contradictory thing that's also metaphysical, because it assumes a temporal possibility of something that could happen assuming conditions are met, but not necessarily being a fact, right? So if I say, okay, a man is somebody who produces large gametes and you don't, I mean small gametes and you don't, I can't say that a trans woman is a man by that definition because she doesn't. The only way I could say that is like if I assume that correct development, or and then we get into a problem of like what is correct, right? But if I assume a certain tract of development based on certain chromosomes and environment, under those circumstances you would be a man. A temporal possibility of something, that's not the same as a fact of it being the case right now. And those are not the same thing, actually. When people reduce those to being the same thing, they are flattening down or getting rid of this temporal dimension that's inherent in the question that in the end, to me, in my analysis, reduces the range of possibilities in the future and constrains free will, essentially. But I'll develop the arguments when we get there. So reason and limits. Okay, so Kant critiquing metaphysics, hypotheticals which can be tested versus hypotheticals that can't be tested. These are two different types of concepts. And the other tier of concepts would be like real things that we can say that already have. But that's also another thing, is that like if I have the thing, I don't necessarily need the concept at that point anymore, because the concept has been replaced by the real thing in some sense. But okay, so Kant was writing this critique of metaphysics. He was pointing out specifically if reason is applied to cosmological ideas that can never be experienced, that's where we run into difficulties, because we can't experience, for example, we can't experience the start of the universe. So what that implies is that defining what the start of the universe is, or even saying if it is that for sure or not, is not possible for the human mind. We can only really go as far as saying, with the help of science, that something like the Big Bang happened, but we don't have an explanation for like why the Big Bang started, or like, you know, if there was anything before that or whatever. Like, it's a cosmological idea that can't be experienced and is therefore not a testable hypothesis. It's a regulative idea.